What is love? Baby, don't hurt me. All right, thanks. So what Afi is attempting to do is to say that we're talking about love today. So let's go talk about it.
Yeah.
No more.
It's time for the word. Come on, somebody. Make sure no one repays a wrong with a wrong, but always pursue the good for each other and everyone else. 1 Thessalonians 5:15. Be blessed. Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of Afi and Miriam Talks.
All right. If you're a new subscriber, we're definitely happy that you're here. If you are a returning one, we love you. Stick around. All right. So we are talking about love. This is the third video of our conversations, little chats, Afi and Miriam Talk. If you've missed the other two ones, we will link the links to the video.
Or you can check out the end credits right here,
or that.
Yeah, but don't click it too soon, okay?
Okay, stay here.
So today's topic is, what is love?
I already
Don't
did
hurt
that.
me.
Okay, stop.
It's a deep topic. You know,
We all love love, don't we? I
love love.
You love love. So we're here to talk about it. First question though. Is it a choice or is it a feeling?
Love is a verb. It is. It's an action. Okay. From what I've been through, love is a verb.
Okay.
So it is both. I think it's both. What about you? What do you think?
I do think it's both. It starts with, at least I think, it starts with being a feeling, then it transitions into a decision. A lot of people are talking about, well, when I googled this, I looked it up.
Google.
Okay? You know I always do my research, so I did look it up. I googled it, and I even YouTubed it. I searched it on YouTube. A lot of people are saying it's a choice, which is true. You know, I mean, you get to decide at some point that you want to love that particular person, right? Or else we'll be dating everybody. And here we're talking about dating, you know, love in a romantic relationship. It's not love between brother and sisters.
Or your parents.
It's a whole.
That's deep.
Yeah.
It comes from your parents.
It runs to the roots.
So, when you say it's a feeling, how did you experience love being a feeling?
To me, it was the minute I realized that I couldn't live without that person. Yeah, and for me, it had to be, we had to get into an argument, and he had to stop talking to me for 4 days.
Oh, wow.
That's when I realized, I was like, oh my God, life is terrible without him. And I was like, you'll be fine the first day, the second day, you'll be fine. And I was like, I just can't.
Wow.
I can't. I gotta fix this. That was my.
That's deep.
That's how I knew that I've been caught. I've been caught in love. Yeah. But going back to the question of whether love is a feeling or a choice, I think it's both. Just because when you meet someone for the first time, you gotta feel something first.
So you're saying love at first sight?
No, not necessarily. But what you feel when you've just met someone or you've noticed someone in the crowd, it's attraction. It's not love yet. It's attraction. Love is something like you get in there, you're like, oh my God, I can't live without this person. I have this strong feeling toward this person romantically. I wanna stay attached. I wanna be sexually involved or whatever. But the thing is, it's greater than just noticing an individual out in the room that you don't know. You can't just see someone and say that you're in love with that person.
That's deep, but like for someone that has never experienced love, understand? like what I say is it love at first sight? Meaning when you say it's a deeper experience than that. Some people, when they see someone for the first time, they fall in love with their outer
like yeah,
the physical
well,
part.
let me retake what I said before, because some people have claimed to have loved at first sight, and then some people have claimed to do that. It's just not been my experience, and I just don't know how that would happen. I would feel attracted to someone. You would feel attracted to someone, of course, but to say that you love that person, so you mean like no matter what they do, you're sticking around? Because that's what love is.
So how would you define love and lust? Because people tend to get that.
That's the thing.
definitely
That's the thing. I'll tell you a story. So, story time.
Story time. I love
Story time. Story time. When I was younger, growing up, puberty. You know, puberty. When puberty comes upon you, it comes. Okay. And then, we're in high school, and everybody's like looking for their own prey. And I'll have guys come up to me and talk to me. I was really I was clear. I was direct. I'll be like, listen, you are confusing like love with lust, and this is a concept that wasn't as widely known as it is here in the U.S. because in our country, you meet someone today and you love them the second day, or you love them at the minute. You just tell them, oh, I love you. It's just something. It's a sentence you just throw around. Okay, you meet someone for the first time, you don't know them, nothing. You just love them. Oh, je t'aime.
That happens in every movie that I've watched. Right. That's every African movie that I watched. Like, especially when it comes to marriages, that's why actually, is it lust? Like, how can you tell the difference between love and lust? Because like, when it comes to marriage within our culture, they tend to tell us get married at this age, so people tend to raise into marriage.
Yeah.
So
no, but that's what I'm saying. And the guys around me, they'll come up to me and try to talk to me, and like, oh, I love you, and I'm like, no, you don't love me. You've just seen me. Like we literally just met. There's no way you can love me. You desire me, and that's what lust is. You want to kiss the person that you're saying, or you want to touch that person, but it has nothing to do with love. Okay, it doesn't mean that. I don't know, if I yell at you really hard, you're still gonna come back. You know what I mean? Like you're probably gonna you'll be like, oh, that girl's crazy, and you walk away because you don't love the person. You just met the person. Oh my God, for God's sake, you just met the person. Okay, stop. You don't love them, but that's what it is, and that's the biggest difference. Like you just desire that person. Like you gotta ask yourself if that person got into an accident, for example, and they lost their feet, would you still be with them?
That's tough. That's when true meaning of love comes in.
That's what I'm saying.
When somebody
like,
goes broke,
right?
When someone has no job,
right?
And you get to the point where like you physically no longer able to move. I think that's when people really do discover if this person loves me or not.
That's the thing, and you see stories like that online where someone, they met their significant other. But something happened along the way. But it's not because the person is now, disabled that the partner is going to run away. And that's not lust. That is love. They're going to stick around because they came in for the long run. They came in for who the person is. And now, despite whatever they're looking right now, that's not what is binding them together. And I guess if you get married for lust, you're not going to be able to survive marriage. Or let's just talk about relationships, okay? I'm not
Let's talk about relationships.
I'm not an expert in marriage, but I'm going to say that you're not going to survive a long-term dating relationship if you don't love that person. If it's just about that person's body, the way they look, but everything else just gets on your nerves, run.
So when you say, you hit a pinpoint, okay? Because, when I was into my mindset, when I was, in my high school mindset, in order for me to, be like, oh my gosh, mind you don't know what love is in high school.
That is so true. That's so true.
When you're like, oh my gosh, I love this person. I used to look at the looks, physical first. Like, I can't love you physically first. But some people say the emotional part is where you find love.
Right.
When someone shows you the
the person they are, their
especially
personality.
with the relationship goals on Instagram.
Oh my god.
Like we see love based off of
Right.
if we take a picture with this person, oh my gosh, they're such a cute couple. They
Right.
must love each other. But really, what I've learned now that I've matured, I've learned that love doesn't typically mean being physically attracted to someone. You know, you have to also get to know that person mentally.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Mm.
So for me now is like you can have all the lists, your lists.
Mm.
I think Pastor Todd talked about this, and it was like a viral video on the internet, and I also decided to watch it.
Mm-hmm.
And he actually talked about his wife having a list of the type of guy that he was that she was looking for,
Yeah.
and he didn't mark anything in that list.
That's really what actually happens. And when you find the one, they are the one. You know, and
That's the irritating part, because you be like, listen, I have a list. You said love comes with this, and then like you meet the guy, you're like, this is nothing what my list was.
well, that's not love. That's your lust list.
Oh dang.
Yeah, that has nothing to do with love. You're just defining the the physique that you want. You're not, and usually, like, most of us don't really, well, women would tell you something like, oh, I want him to make me laugh, or I want him to be sweet. What does that even mean?
But the opposite always attracts though.
Well, true. It is true, but, like, you gotta be sweet, okay?
Oh yeah. I've
You
met
gotta
some
be
people that
sweet.
be making you laugh, and like they're not sweet.
Right,
But-
right. Like, so there are so many things that come into love. Like, I'm not gonna say that physical attraction is not important, but it shouldn't be the basis for your decision into, you know, walking into a relationship. It shouldn't be that. That shouldn't be that shouldn't be what you base your decision on solely. Like, that would be a mistake. It would be a mistake, because, like, you look at someone, you meet someone that's not as tall as you wanted them to be. They're not,
Trust me, I've been there.
as cute as you wanted them to be, but everything else about them speaks life to you. You know, like, everything else. And I feel like, let's just talk about marriage, or even if you're just dating with a purpose. Okay, and that's what I was doing. I always dated with a purpose.
I think
like
that's
that.
key when it comes to dating. You can't just be dating. Just,
Right.
Let's find out. We're just gonna see what happens. Like, there's no such thing.
We gotta date with a
What's
purpose.
your mindset when it comes to
And
dating?
if you're dating with a purpose, and your purpose hopefully is marriage, and in your marriage you're hopefully wanting to stay there forever, I mean, think about the long term. It's not about what you see now. Because you gotta realize people change. You gotta accept the person as they're coming right now, so that you have the heart to keep moving.
I like that.
Okay, if you don't love the person right now, if you feel like, oh my god, I can't spend the whole day with this person, you're not loving that person.
You know, Dad told me a story once, which is really interesting, because the older I'm getting, the more like I'm more open with my parents. He said one time, it's
Easier to talk to African parents when you're old.
it is.
Why you tweet out the whole video, bro?
Let me tell you.
You said what?
Especially the boyfriend thing. Like, what'd you say? No. We don't need to hear that. But I was talking to Dad once, and he said something that really got my attention, especially with the whole love thing. In today's society, we like to meet a guy when they have money.
Right, they're complete.
You know,
Like,
they're
they're
complete.
set.
Yes.
Life is just like, I
Yes,
come in,
they
I
have-
got my car.
Yes,
my house.
everything, their job, everything.
Yeah.
But he said it's best to meet someone while they're still building themselves. Because that's when you realize we started from the bottom with you. Well, I started from the bottom with you, and I'm grown with you.
Right.
Instead of meeting someone that's already there, and you start to get disrespected because they're already there.
And I feel like it's even easier for you to find out if you really love that person when they have nothing. Because man, when the person has all these things and they're showering you with gifts and all these things that are all beautiful all the time, you know, you might be loving their money and the things that they're bringing you, right? You might turn into a materialistic person, not because you meant it. You know, it's not like you wanted to be that person, but it was all a blur. And before you really thought about or realized that you were actually loving the things other than the person, you're too deep into it. So the part where love becomes a choice is when you choose to stay with an individual, no matter what. Then it becomes a choice, and I believe that even saying yes to someone to get engaged to, that's a decision. Okay, and so love is a decision, because that person is asking you, do you want to spend the rest of your life with me?
It's kind of like marriage, through better or worse. 'Cause those vows,
it is a decision.
It's when I think about those vows, they're very like,
It gets you
they're scared because you don't know. Like you
They're
said,
scary.
true love shows itself when situation happens. So when you say especially in our society, we get ready to divorce like this.
Man,
when it comes from the worst part,
it's become so easy for people to just fall out of love or fall out of relationships. Because I mean, and this is important for you to actually for all of us to understand love. Okay, because we so easily fall out of it. And I was talking with my husband last night, and we were talking about Jesus. Like, Jesus came down on earth. He was trying to save people. And the people he was trying to save got him killed.
ooh,
Okay?
Dema.
But he was crucified, and on the cross he said, Father, forgive them. I'm like, bro. Okay,
The same people that was spitting on you.
That's love. That's like, what kind of, I mean, that's cheating on the next level. But he chose. He was like, I chose to die for these people, and no matter what, I'm staying here. On our next episode, we'll be discussing how long does it take to fall in love, and who should say it first.
When it comes to men, I look at it differently with females, because female, we mature faster than guys.
Yeah.
And I think when a guy says I love you first, that means they're
ready. We'll see you then.